So, good evening. Welcome back to another show. Tonight, I'm going to do the press conference reaction. And as usual, I've got Holly with me. And Holly, good evening to you.
Evening, how are you?
Yeah, I'm eating not pretty bad. Just bit of a long day at work sort of thing. I got finished at 4:45, which is great. And yeah, how's things with you?
Yeah, they're okay. Just hoping for a Newcastle win tomorrow. I'm a bit nervous, but apart from that, I'm all good.
Sure. Yeah, we need to win, because 2 wins in 16 games is not great at our sort of thing at the moment. And 2 wins, 2 draws, 12 defeats. And I've listened to NFC Matters last night with Malcolm and John Gibbs. I don't know if you listened to those two guys.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Steve's shows. I watched a little bit of that one, but not the full thing.
Well, if you listen to John Gibson yesterday, sort of thing, well, my God, he's absolutely so right in what he said about Newcastle at the moment in time. Needed to win. The players you'll keep, you'll get rid. Oh my God, I think it's so much spot on. So is what it is. Yeah, so guys, if you like the video, could you please take a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, and always leave the comment sections down below. We don't want to leave you guys out. So yeah, I mean, fact of the matter is, Steve has been at the press conference today, is asking we have questions there, and basically it's just he's been a little bit defensive again today, which is unbelievable. And wow, asked questions about what happened, really had into Ollie Solskjaer, which I'll come on to later on. So yeah, it's not the best of starts for Steve Bruce, I'm afraid. So yeah, it's just asked questions basically, and the media is asked about players coming back, any injuries. He said Joe Linton's okay, Federico Fernandez has trained our week, but tomorrow still might be a bit too early for him. We have no new injuries. And he added as well, Manquillo is doing very well in his ankle. Fabian Schär is still on crutches in the knee brace. He'll be out for the season, to be honest. Callum Wilson is now 3-4 weeks away. And while he's making good progress, but it's a muscular injury, so we have to be box clever with it. Holly, what do you make of that?
It's good news for Manquillo, and then obviously Fernandez as well, but it's a bit of a shame about Shaw and obviously Wilson as well. But it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, because I thought those players would have been out for longer than they have been. They seem to have recovered quite quickly.
Yeah, man. It's just a sad miss as well, losing those players as well. I mean, lost them at a crucial time. I mean, if we look at Manquillo, so we could have done with him last week against Man U. Okay, he may not have gone forward a lot, but we could have done with him because Emil Kraft, or Emily, I'm going to call him for now, Emily Kraft, because he's weak. You know, again, it's just not good enough. He's been causing goals anyway. I mean, doesn't defend close enough, doesn't get touch tight to them. It's just not closing down. He's just closing down enough, Holly. And for me, he's costing scores.
He is. That where he got nutmegged and it led to a goal like that, there's no excuse for that. He has cost us a few goals this season, and that game was just so poor. I would honestly rather have like Murphy or anyone in that position rather than him, because people might be like, oh, well, they don't really play there, so I'm a bit worried about him starting there. But he can't be any worse, can he? So why not just give someone a go?
Yeah, can't get any worse, Holly, can you? Can't get any worse or whatsoever, sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Murphy there anyway. Okay, he cannot tackle to save his life, but at the end of the day, he'll give it a go, give it a try. It can't get any worse than Kraft at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would do going into this game, but Bruce will probably stick with Kraft.
And or Emily K. That's all I could call Emily K. And Steve was on about Wolves. He said, well, picking up again, he goes, they're a very good side and have been for the last 2 or 3 years, but we play very well down at Molyneux. It's another difficult game, but we're quietly confident we can get a result. Well, I'm going to have to go back a few words there. He said we played very well down at Molyneux. We've only had one shot on target, and that's from the free kick. The goal conceded was quite poor. Joe Linton headed away. It fell to Jimenez. He's going to be missing tomorrow, and he cracked it in from 20 yards. And yeah, I did very good again, but he said we played well at Molyneux. Do you agree with that?
I remember that game. It was one of the only ones I wasn't at because I was quite poorly at the time. I just had like a sickness bug. But then I was texting my friend who went down, and they said that we played shotgun and we were so lucky to get the point. So by the sounds of it, we didn't seem to play well. But what Steve Bruce thinks as well is usually a really rubbish game. So that says it all, to be honest.
And I tell you what, Holly, I'd rather you be manager in Newcastle United. I think you do a better job as well, And I think I'll be your number 2, no problems at all. But I mean, Steve Bruce trying to put a positive spin on the things as well, and basically he's trying to, fool the fans as well, trying to keep the fans sweet. He's not keeping us sweet at all, isn't he? He's just trying to appease us and trying to get on the side. We're never going to be on the side anyway, because the guy, he's just a fraudulent manager.
Yeah, his chance has been and gone now. I was always willing to give him a chance in the first season. I constantly was like giving him the benefit of the doubt when we were losing games and playing really poor. I was like, he's got time to sort it out, but now he's done for me. Like, there's no more chances for him. He's had his chance. And certainly the comments that he makes doesn't do him any favours. Like, even today, when he was going on about laughing with Ollie, it's just ridiculous. It's just not what you say in a press conference.
Well said. Well, so I'll come on to that one later on, sort of thing, because John Harton says something as well. Got NUFC. Hi, John. How are you? You can also say hi to Holly as well. Excuse me. Don't leave a root. And Tom said, evening, John. Again, you can also say hi to Holly as well. So yeah, I hope you guys are fine. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I definitely come to him later on. So on to Amiron. He's Spruce's on about Amiron. He said, I've said many a time, if everybody was like me, my job would be very easy. Oh, I'm not sure about that. He needs to get some wins then, doesn't he? He's got a heart of the size of himself and has a real natural ability. His best position is off the front, and the key is to scoring and making a goal. Now, he said there, his job is his best position is off the front. Guess what? He plays them on the left or on the right hand side.
I know, that's what he constantly does. And I agree that he probably plays better kind of like in a number 10 kind of role behind the striker, but he doesn't often play there, so it's a bit bizarre for him to say that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to please himself, do you know what I mean? But he's number 10. He came to Newcastle as a number 10 under Rafa Benitez, and then what does he go and do? Goes and he plays on the left, plays on the right, he plays him in central midfield, right? Which, for me, I don't think is that great. But for me, when he used to play for Atlanta, he used to be a 10 role and he was scoring plenty of goals. But again, I don't think Bruce is coaching right at all whatsoever. He's trying to bring him best he could, but Graham Jones has told him to play as a number 10 role, and that's exactly what he's done. And also can play a false 9.
Well, yeah, St. Maximin is another person that's kind of being played out of position. He plays quite a lot of players out of position, to be honest with you, and then say stuff like, oh, well, he plays better in this position. And I was like, well, if you think that, then why aren't you playing him there? It's just strange. But everything about Steve Bruce has changed. His subs are strange. His teams are strange. It's everything.
Do you think he's playing these players out of position so he wants to sack and gets payoff, though?
I've heard a lot of people say that, and I kind of get where they're coming from, but not for me, because I know that he's getting a lot of like hate and stuff, but he hasn't actually experienced how bad it'll get for him yet, since we haven't been in the ground. So I think that he'll still be fine to stay in the job. I still think that he wants to be here, and if he got offered a new contract, I think he'd take it.
Oh, Holly, if he does that sort of thing, for me, I'm absolutely done 100%. I'll be done, because at the end of the day, I mean, do that, the fans would just drop and drop and drop. It gets just so low. It's just going to be untenable for Bruce, do you know what I mean? But if people want to go to the games, I know you love to go to the matches. I'd love to come back. I mean, Paul wants to come back as well, and PD Proudlock and Baz as well. And at the end of the day, right, I mean, Bruce is not doing himself any favours at all whatsoever. He's not. And if he signs a new deal, I'll be worried for the club.
So I don't think they'd give him a new deal, but then again, you can't rule anything out under Ashley, because it was like when he gave Pardew like a 10-year contract or something. Like, he does crazy stuff, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, he's just doing that to put two things up at our fans. We know Ashley hits our fans, do you know what I mean? But hey, but I'm not surprised. Nothing does surprise at the club anymore. But there you go. And Steve is on about Ali and St. Maximin. After being without him for 3 months in that crucial period, it is good to see him back. Just as we got him back, we lost Callum to injury, so it's being cruel to us at times. If Alan stays fit, we know we're a different proposition. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying, including Malcolm McDonald, he's come out and say that Steve Bruce is relying on him way too much and hoping for him to do his magic. It's not always about LSM, it's about the whole team. And some of the players aren't good enough. John Joe Shelver ain't good enough. Lascelles not good enough. Kraft's not good enough. Joe Linton's not good enough. Yeah, those four needs to fix up very quickly. We're in a relegation dogfight. But on to ASM. How do you think he's been doing?
Well, before, because obviously he had an injury that he came back from, and like COVID and stuff like that. Before COVID, I thought he was looking quite poor compared to how he was previously in the 2019-20 season. But then when he came back, he started to look a little bit better and be changing up the games. So I think at the moment he's doing pretty well, and I'd always be happy to have him in the team because he does give us something different. He's a different type of player to everyone else that we have, and he's the only one that can change up a game.
Sure. I mean, the thing is as well, excuse me, and the thing as well, for the first 20 minutes against Man U, I thought it was very, very quiet and he just didn't really get the ball. Me and Paul was thinking, is he hiding in the game? Does he not fancy it? And then he had a shot when De Gea saved. He made a great save for the second shot, and the third chance he had, I think he did really well. He scored a cracking goal, I thought. And look, at the end of the day, we need more than him, because if we going to stay up this season, it's going to be down to him. And also, we might see Shelby fix up as well. But ASM is key to us as well.
He definitely is. If he is in form, then the whole team plays well, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely right. So I've got another one up here. That's on the playing side. Craig Hope for the Daily Mail has asked Booster questions about relegation. Excuse me. When he was asked about the effect of relegation, he said, when the daffodils are up the cruise of the season is upon us, we still got a lead, but it seems Newcastle are the only ones in it. There are 6 or 7 teams. On tactics, I'll repeat, on tactics, you can talk about tactics as much as you like. It's all about players. Oh man, before I let you come on, Holly, please could you please subscribe to my channel, and please stick a like on the video as well, please. It'd be fantastic. Also follow Holly on a Twitter account as well. Yeah. What do you make of that, Holly? I mean, that's Steve Bruce comment, especially said about tactics.
Embarrassing, very typical of Steve Bruce to say that. We all know that he doesn't know anything about tactics and he doesn't believe in them or practice them. You can't say it's about players, because at the end of the day, we've had lots of injuries throughout the season. So you've got to adapt the tactics to suit the players that you have available, because you're not always going to have your strongest 11 fit. And he clearly can't understand that, because he just thinks that, as long as we're playing with top players, then it doesn't matter how we play, but you don't always have them available. So that comment's just a load of nonsense.
I have to agree. I mean, the thing is, though, Steve Bruce now is starting to insult each and every Newcastle fans. You know what I mean? All we want is the truth. We just want the truth from this guy. Do you know what I mean? Just come out here, speak the truth, and then everyone will accept. We'll just say, okay, cool. He's speaking the truth, and that's what it's all about. But this guy, believe you and me, he doesn't know anything about tactics. He just doesn't seem to care. I mean, even, I think it might be Jack Grealish or Richard Van Leert, who's played for Villa, come out and say that what he does, just throws the ball in the middle of the park and just say, go on, play it. And it's like watching 9-year-old kids kicking the ball about.
I seen that it was Jack Grealish that said it. And
it was, yeah.
Yeah, when I heard that, I wasn't surprised at all, to be honest, because you could just imagine him doing it in the training ground. Like, it's so insulting to the players as well, like literally coaching them like they're under 10 side, like pathetic.
Wow. I tell you what, though, I'm not being funny. Like, I hope this guy gets a sack sooner rather than later. If you lose tomorrow, I hope he gets a sack anyway. I really do. He should have gone in the summer anyway after Liverpool. I've always said that. But the trouble is, though, you know, it's actually for you. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't give a monkeys about us. He just thinks Steve Bruce is doing a fantastic job. Even the pundits saying so as well.
Well, I know Mike Ashley doesn't care about us, but it's not even caring about the club or the fans or anything like that. It's literally caring for him about saving his investment, because it's like, I don't think he understands the fact that if we go down, we'll be stuck in the Championship and he will not get his £350 million that he wants. So if he wants to make his money, that we all know he loves his money, then he needs to make sure that we stay in the Premier League.
Yeah, he has to. I just don't get him at all whatsoever. I don't know what's wrong with him, sort of thing. Maybe he spends too much time in Dubai and probably forget about our club as well. But he hasn't got no one advising him, okay, on football matters at all. He doesn't seem to listen. He doesn't seem to care. And I am amazed that Steve Bruce is still in the job, even though he's lost the players, the media, the fans as well. And Charlie should be on it as well, mind. And where is he? Why is he not doing anything about it? Why is he not talking to Ashton to say, hang on a minute, the results not going well. What we're going to do is Steve Bruce, right? But don't forget, Lee Charnley is supposed to be in charge, running the club. Well, Ashley's not there. He's not. Ashley basically saying he's hands off. So that leaves to the Charnley. And he's doing absolutely nothing. For me, Charnley is an absolute mullet. And again, he doesn't know about football. He's just a T-boy.
Yeah, I don't have a massive problem with Mike Ashley not being like physically involved, because in an owner, that's not really what their job is. It's kind of just to like put the money in and then get experts to advise him on football terms. But he hasn't got those people. He's literally got Lee Charnley, who I've said is just as bad as Ashley because he's getting paid for doing absolutely nothing. And the bare minimum he could do is communicate what's happening at the club with the fans, and he can't even do that. So I don't know why we're paying him to do anything.
Holly, I mean, he said in the summer, and I think as well, he said in the summer that there's been more communication. That was way back in the summer. And now we're in nearly March, and not an absolute, not a sausage, not a sausage.
No, the last bit of communication that I can remember was when they were on about obviously going to court and stuff of the Premier League, which I wasn't expecting them to comment on actually. So I was happy that they did that because I think it's important that the fans understand what's happening. But then they need to still keep us in the loop about all other things that are going on. They can't just be like, oh, well, we can't really say anything because of like this takeover thing, because realistically it probably won't even happen now because there's that many bad things in the way. I've lost a lot of confidence in the past couple of weeks, so I think they need to just start focusing on the here and now instead of what might be.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the thing is that we need to take over very badly. If we don't and we get relegated, I fear for the future of the club. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking we had to be sank as well, and yours as well. I got Jason here. He should have been sacked 5 minutes after he arrived. Do you know what it is, right? I wanted them out before I wanted them in. Yeah? Do you know what I mean? But also, he said, I remember Charlie saying he wanted someone of the same caliber as Rafa when Rafa left. In came Steve flipping Bruce.
Yeah, that's not a very good comparison to Rafa bringing Bruce in. But like, obviously you were saying that you wanted him out and stuff before he came in, and I didn't want him to join us in the first place, but once he did, I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't like judge anybody until I have a reason to like think, like until I have a reason to give an opinion on them. So obviously I think he did okay last season. People were saying he did well. I don't think he did well. I think he did okay. So I was okay with him last season, but this season he's been horrendous, and he's fully just, he needs to be criticised, and I would want him out as soon as we can. But I was willing to give him that chance, which I think is more than fair, and he's had enough chances now. He just needs to leave.
I never wanted, I mean, fair enough, it's your opinion of the day, and I respect that. I never wanted Steve Bruce here in the first place. I never wanted Joe Linton here in the first place. I definitely didn't want Emma Kraft in the first place. I watched Kraft, you know, obviously, you know, I love Italian football, so yeah. We used to play for Bologna, sort of thing. He was bang average as well. So we're both ahead of the curve now. We see a good one, and these players are not good enough. I know you think I love Joe Linton, but I don't. But everyone keeps making fun of us, you know. But hey, at the end of the day, I can take it in good spirits, you know what I mean? So hey, but you're right. I totally agree what you mean. I only got to give people a chance, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, never want to boost anyway. I got Brandon, even John Holly. Big up to me, guy, and I hope 8:30 I'll be with Brandon. I'll be doing another stream, 8:30 with Brandon, talking about the match preview, Newcastle, Bruce, you name it, you got it. And he's from Newcastle Fans TV. I got Jason again, work in progress. More like work in regress. You know what I mean? The regress has gone backwards and definitely regress from Bruce. I said definitely. And I've got Eric, evening, John. Yet, hope you're well. You say evening to Holly as well. Yeah, Eric, absolutely fine. Hope you and your partners absolutely fine as well. So, yeah, I just want to talk about Lee Ryder as well. He's made a comment, right? And he asked about crowds returning, right? He said the roadmap out of lockdown is huge for everyone. Football without fans is not the same. We all like to see signs we could be back to normal by the end of June. Oh, June is the end of the season, mind. The start of next season, hopefully we see the crowds. Well, I've got a bit of advice to Steve Bruce here, sort of, and he's lucky there's no fans in the stadium right now. If there was, he would not be at Newcastle.
Yeah, that's what I've said for a long time. He's had the most luck out of any manager that I've ever known. He just gets away with everything, and this lockdown has helped him out a lot as a manager. So he certainly shouldn't be wanting fans back. But I agree with him from our point of view. I really want the fans back, but he shouldn't want them back because he'll probably be out of a job.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, he did say June, didn't he? But the end of the season's in May, so I think it's a little bit senile. Again, he's winding us up. I mean, a journalist should have said, Steve, it's May, not June. It's May.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe he means that he might have got confused because the lockdown's meant to end in June. So maybe that's what he meant. And then fans back in August, I think, because I don't know what type of football we're playing in June, unless he's on about pre-season maybe. But even then, that's a bit early because doesn't it normally start in July?
Wow. I tell you what, I hope he's gone at the end of the season. I really do. I really do hope he's done. Do you know what I mean? I want this guy out. I'm telling you. But again, a lot of people seeing that if we get relegated, I'm hearing that they may keep him on because he's got experience in the championship. Do you know what I mean? So that's his reward for failure, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Kept on in the championship, but he shouldn't even be there.
Yeah, I think that they will keep him on in the championship because for in Mike Ashley's brain, he'll be like, oh, well, he's got good experience in the championship, he can help bring us back out. But we all know it won't work like that. But these people don't know anything about Newcastle or football, so that's just how they'll think. And unfortunately, we stuck with him. I just hope that if he does stick with him, he just lets him see out the last year of his contract and he doesn't extend his contract, because if we get him on a long-term deal, I swear down, I'll be done.
Done as well, like, you know what I mean? It just breaks me heart, you know what I mean? And it just tells everything you need to know about Newcastle. I mean, it's like getting Rafa a Ferrari and getting yourself a Skoda. And Rafa's Ferrari and Bruce is a Skoda, a clapped out Skoda, needs an MOT, do you know what I mean? So, hey, it's just a disgrace, man. I just don't know what to say. So I got Jason again. Jason, hope you're okay. Do you wonder, with him being the 11th choice, who was the other 10? And would you think 12 onwards would still have done a better job? Well, Mikel Arteta's name is mentioned. Patrick Vieira's name is mentioned. Sam Allardyce's name is mentioned as well. And Steven Gerrard as well. Well, apparently, I don't know how true it was, but I think Steven Gerrard had a word with Rafa and said, what's the job like in Newcastle? And he just thought, and he just didn't think twice. So he just said, thanks, but no thanks.
Well, Sam Allardyce is an interesting one. I can't even remember that being a link, but like, I don't know. Would you have took Sam Allardyce back over Steve Bruce?
You got absolutely no. So I'd rather take Sam Smith as manager than Sam Allardyce to boxing. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you what, he's got more of a talent than this dinosaur who's managing West Ham. But the chances are, I'd rather take Sam Smith. The answer to that one is no. Absolutely no way. You know what I mean? Or Sam Fox, former page for last.
So practically anyone. I don't think I would have took Sam Allardyce, but it's like probably Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce are on a similar level, so yeah, we'll probably just be like for like, really.
I know, it's just a dinosaur football, you know what I mean? We've got to play West Brom next Saturday with Sam managing them, you know what I mean? That's going to be the worst. I don't know if Paul said that could be the worst game of football ever in the Premier League this season, but we still got to do it because I got to do a watch along, and so it is for what it is. And Jason said if it's exciting for the fans to find returning, then he's in for horror sure when there will be boos echoing around St. James's Park from 52,000 people. I don't think it'd be 52,000 people. It'd be up to 10,000 people going to the stadium, Jason, and that's the maximum. Got Geordie here, even John Linton and Holly. This next month is massive. There you go. Geordie calls us John Linton.
I think you should have kept that as your Twitter name.
Oh, I may as well. I may as well. Can you imagine?
I know everyone calls you it, so you should have just left it.
Just left it there by popular domain. They're talking about, I don't know if you saw, I think I might have sent it to him. There's me face on there, replace the sphere. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I have. It's weird because you actually suited it. Like, I think you should, honestly, that hairstyle just suits you. You actually look like a different version of Joe Linton.
Oh, no. And thank you very much, Holly. And you know what? I would have done a better job of Joe Linton anyway. And I would have been a hero of St. John's Park in a number 9 shirt, but there you can. But yeah, Geordie said John Holly. And Geordie said Sam Allardyce was linked to the club with Kevin Rowland as his assistant, but Allardyce turned Aston. And I tell you what, we'll never have him back. I'll never, ever have that guy back. It ain't going to happen. No way. But like I said, what can you do? And there you go. I was going to talk to you about, I just got something up as well from Lee Ryder as well. He's basically, I don't know who asked the question, right? About, how do I pull it? Asked Steve Bruce about that smile he did with Orly, right? He was asked about that. And he said that Orly, his only smile because Orly Gunnar Solskjaer gave him a compliment on the way we've played. What do you think of that one?
Well, it's probably not the truth. He probably wasn't complimenting us on how we played. Like, we didn't play bad, I don't think, because I was expecting us to play a lot worse. The first 60 minutes were okay, and then after that we looked terrible, but it's a bit odd for him to compliment Bruce on how we played. I think it was just an excuse. That made us even more annoyed when I seen that, because I was already raging that he was laughing and joking after that. I had a right rant on it on various channels, on Steve Rave's channel and stuff about it, because I just didn't know what there was to laugh and smile about when we got beat 3-1. We were sitting in 17th, 3 points off bottom, and he's literally about to take his boyhood club down, and he's sitting smiling and laughing. And no matter what, even if they were having jokes or whatever, it was the funniest thing in the world. It's not a situation to be laughing. If you want to catch up with him, talk to him off the pitch or give him a ring or something. Don't do it on the Sky cameras.
Carry on, Holly. Carry on. Carry on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say for the minute, but yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you on that tweet, didn't I, sort of thing, so I clicked on that, didn't I? But can you see Alex Ferguson doing that sort of thing, smile if you get beat by 3-1? Can you see him smiling?
No way, but not even Alex Ferguson. Most managers that have any type of respect for their club and their fans wouldn't do it, because it's just a massive smack in the face. Yet again, like, he says about being a Geordie and stuff like this. For me, any Geordie would never, ever laugh and smile after just watching their team get beat 3-1. It's just not appropriate.
Well said, well said. I mean, going back in your time, we had Bobby Robson's manager. I can remember back in 2001 when Newcastle got beat off Charlton by 2-0. We considered 2 poor goals. Bobby Robson's manager at the time. I don't know if it's on the clip on YouTube. He had an interview after the game, and he was absolutely fuming. And he come out and he said that all the fans that paid good money to travel to him from Newcastle to Charlton, right, paid good money to see an absolute shocking first half performance. I've never, ever seen Bobby Robson that mad, ever. I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, he's gone back a while, but it's worth checking out on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it was the same when we had Kevin Keegan, because he always used to, like, go home in a huff and stuff and, like, get angry in his interviews when we hadn't played well, because he thought it was disrespectful to the fans. And that's what we need. We need a manager that's goal is to literally make the team play well for the fans, because that's what gets success. Whereas Bruce couldn't care less about the fans, and that defines a good manager and a bad manager.
That well said, well said. That I mean, Bruce is just weak. He's absolutely weak, and he's trying to put a positive spin on. They're not going to call. I'm going to call him Ty because there's a guy called Ty for Arsenal Fan TV, AFTV, and every time they get beat, he always puts a positive spin. I don't know if you watched him. He always puts a positive spin on, and trying to convince himself, but it's not really. But at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I think Bruce needs to speak the truth now and just tell the fans that performance is not acceptable. I got Jason here. The 10,000 fans would sneak one or two people in via their pockets to fill out the stadium. And then Steve Bruce, where's the true Steve Bruce? I don't know. Where you now? I'm back again for relegation master. Yeah, but thanks, but no thank you. I don't want a relegation on my CV. Thank you very much indeed. Jason, quietly confident. His new word of the week. What does it even mean? Holly?
He said that even last year. I remember him always saying about being quietly confident. Basically, I think he means that he's not saying out in public that, oh yeah, we're definitely going to stay up, but he's thinking that in the back of his mind. But realistically, he is coming out saying that stuff because he said that we'll be fine and there's no need to worry when it's not the reality because we all know different. And the fact that he's constantly putting that message out there could be the reason why we went down because he's just instilling false belief into the players and the fans. Well, the fans don't believe it, but the players will.
Exactly. And this is a funny one as well. I'll tell you something, I'm quite confident we beat Lincoln next season. If Lincoln goes up, we could be playing Sunderland as well. If Sunderland get promoted, we get relegated. We haven't beat Sunderland for 7 game, man. We lost 6 and drawn 1 against them, right? But the moment we beat Sunderland, do you know what? I'm going to be celebrating very, very hard. Even though I don't drink alcohol, I'll be celebrating hard because that's the team I want to beat for once and for all, colleague. I really do want to not just beat them, I just want to smash them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've never been at a derby where we've won because obviously we haven't played them for a good few years, and then the last time I had a derby I was just like a kid, so I haven't actually seen us win a derby, which is pretty shocking to be fair.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, the fact is, at the end of the day, we need to beat them lot, sort of thing, because that's a team. I want to smash this team to shreds. You know what I mean? The moment we do that, I'll be celebrating. But our time will come. Our time will definitely come. But hey, I got Brandon, and my guy. He said, "Have you seen John Joe's interview? What do you guys make of that?" Do you know what it is, mate? I haven't listened to that interview. I heard about it, but have you listened to it, Holly?
Yeah, I watched it just before I came on the stream, actually. He was basically just saying that he was just praising Bruce, saying that all the players love Bruce. He's the best manager that he's ever worked under. He gets the club because he's a Geordie, just literally just praising him and making him out like some type of god. He was literally the best manager he's ever worked under. So he's saying that Bruce is better than Rafa Benitez, even like his last manager. It's just shocking. I was annoyed at that interview by Shelby. And then he's saying that all the players are so confident that we'll stay up and things like that. And I'm like, they're not though. You can blatantly tell as soon as we concede a goal, all their heads drop. Like, him and Steve Bruce are on the same page. They're in fantasy land. Come down to the real world, open your eyes and be realistic instead of just spreading rubbish all over the internet. I'm sick of it.
Holly, this is real talk now. I'm going to say it on air now, yeah, for what he told us. John Joe Shelby has lost me respect here. I'm saying it right now. The guy has lost my respect. Get this guy at the club, right? At the end of the season, I do not want to see this guy playing football for Newcastle ever again. Who does he think he is? I mean, Howie, the guy is insulting us, saying that Steve Bruce is the best manager he's worked with. I'll tell you exactly why. He's in the team, why he thinks he's the best, because he's in the team. You do what he wants, yeah? Rafa Benitez would have absolutely turfed him out if he stayed another season. Do you know what I mean? Am I wrong or right?
You're right. He wasn't one of Rafa's favourite players, and I think he would have went at the end of the season if he'd stayed. And he's lucky to be in the team because he's not putting in best performances. He should have been really dropped by now. I've always said that I'm kind of a fan of Shelby and defended him, but yeah, like you, after seeing that interview, that really was quite offensive to the fans, and my views have changed on him a bit. He did try to kind of balance it out by saying that, he loves the fans and the fans are brilliant and they're always behind the team and stuff, but still, you shouldn't be going on about Bruce when you know how the fan base feel towards him. You should just not mention it. I know he can't come out on air and just see how rubbish his Bruce Bruce is and his boss and just criticise him, but he should just not comment on it or just say we're trying our best to stay up, because just praising him like that is really rude to the fan base.
Well said, Holly. I can't say any more than that, Pet. Honestly, you talk a lot of things. You can cover. You could do my press conference reaction next week, and you be answering the questions as well. but you're right. But I think John should keep his mouth shut now. Just button it. I mean, guys, tell us what you think. You need the comment sections just down there and tell us. Do you think we're both right about John Shelby? Should he be playing Newcastle United ever again? Because I tell you something, that will not go away. I'm absolutely fuming at that. You know what I mean? And Jordy said, Bruce haven't got a clue. He just spouts on anything that comes out of his scum. He is deluded. Yeah? And Brand said, smash the scum. You're right, John. Sad Mackham. I'm not even going to say the rest of it. But one of these days, our time will come.
I agree with them.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. I absolutely smashed them. Seriously. Real talk. And just John Joe for calling me in the Messiah. I'll give you the 10 out tomorrow night, buddy, lad. I tried to laugh. And then Jason added, if you don't run for him, we don't play next week. Yeah, okay, John Joe. See, look, this guy is absolutely deluded. He should keep his mouth shut. And it's not like you have made any runs lately. I mean, to me, if you give us, I'll give you a half-time report on John Joe Shelby, how many marks out of 10 would you give him?
3.
I'll drop him a 0. I'm dropping him a 0 after that. The whole thing, dropping him a 0 because he hasn't been great. He hasn't making an assist. His legs is gone. So you give him a 3, yeah?
Yeah, I just found it funny when he said about running. He's probably like one of the slowest players at the club, so I don't know how we can talk about running, because if that was the case, he would have never played.
Yeah, I totally agree. He'd be better off doing something else, yeah. But he ain't, I mean, for me, I think his time is done. I mean, next season, I'll get rid of him. And I'll get rid of a couple as well. I got David Blade. Is that your brother? Is that your bro?
It's my dad.
Your dad, David, how are you doing? You okay? I mean, yeah, thanks for coming on. Chelsea should be sacked for a boost. I totally agree. He's absolutely right there. You tell your dad as well. Big up to him as well. And big up in the building. I've got Eric as well. Xavier would do more than a team in John Joe liability. I wish he'd just pay off with the rest of the idiots at the club. I want him gone at the end of the season. Jason, speaking on comment out of there for Share, took it on his own hands by admitting we were shite in his after-match interview. He did it well back. I can remember that against Southampton. I can remember that 100%. And again, he's quite right. For me, Bruce has lost the players. I mean, John Joe will come out and say anything to back him because he's only in the team. You know what I mean? He's your fast captain, you know. He ain't my fast captain. Only have him in my team. Brandon said, problem is John is almost the only one in the squad that gives that special bar. I haven't yet to see it, Brandon. I've yet to see it this season. If he has a good game, he makes magical passes. Problem is, it's just so rare when he has a good game. And not only that, when we go behind, we're looking for leaders. We're looking for someone to come out and give us something special. This guy, I'm sorry, don't do that anymore. Do you agree with that, Holly?
Yeah, well, with what Brandon's saying, that's kind of why I always was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and why I always kind of defended him a bit, because I thought, like, when he does have a good game, he's really good. He's probably one of the best passers of the ball at the club, but he's just so inconsistent. He'll probably have like 9 bad games for every 1 good game, which is just not good enough. And now he's insulting the fans and he's really slow, so he probably just needs to move on now. And I said before, I would be a bit sad to see him move on just because of like sentimental reasons from obviously in the championship and stuff. But yeah, now I think he just needs to move on. His time's done now.
Yeah, I'll just say he's done. I'll just bang in the reserves, done, out on the summer for me for what he's done, because I'm still absolutely not impressed with what he said, man. I'm sorry, but nah, he wouldn't even not have said that in front of Kevin Keegan or Sir Bobby Robson. So I'll tell you something, if they heard that, he'd be out of the sea anyway. There you go. And Gia said, Shelby, happy picking is 70 grand a week. Scary. I think it's on 80 grand a week as well. I think he's right there. Do you think?
Yeah, well, I think until we signed a few of our new players like Callum Wilson, I think he was the highest paid player a couple of years ago, because he's one of the more senior ones. But I don't know why he's getting that money, because he's been in and out of the squad until recently and he's just inconsistent. He doesn't deserve that. But yeah, why would he not be happy to stay here? And he says like, oh, he wants to finish his career at Newcastle. Well, wouldn't anyone, when you're a lazy player and you just want to make that amount of money? It's like common sense, really. You just get the money and do nothing.
I know. But this is the thing: we get relegated. My God, who's going to take him on? Who's going to pay the £70 a week just to get this guy away? And it's just, oh man, this is the thing. He signed a new 3-year deal as well, didn't he, at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, well, this is the thing about the Championship that scares me, is that we're not going to be able to afford the wages, and it's going to be even worse now, obviously with Mike Ashley not wanting to invest, and because we've lost money with COVID and not having bands in for over a year. So it is worrying, and I think a few players, we might just have to pay them off and end their contracts because we're not going to be able to keep them on if we're in the Championship.
Crazy, man. Absolutely ridiculous, But it's not just that. We've got to get rid of ASM as well. Almiron, Dubraka, Darlow, Hayden. They're on big wages as well. We ain't going to have a team in the Championship, man.
Well, yeah, that's a problem. We're going to lose all our best players, but at least with them, we can sell them. Someone will take them and we'll make money off them. But whereas the likes of John Joe Shelby, no one's going to want to pay that for him.
Exactly. Totally agree. But I wouldn't have a meeting. I got Brandon here, sort of thing. And he said, who else have we got, though, John? Who else have we got apart from Shelby? Sean Longstaff, he's been inconsistent this season as well. Matty, he runs around all the time, which he works hard. But is Sean going to come back? I can't see it.
I think both the Longstaffs will be gone. Currently in the Newcastle squad, I think midfield is where we're weakest, so I can understand what Brandon's saying, because that's always the thing with me, why I worry about letting players go, because we haven't really got anyone just as good or better to replace him, and that's worrying when it's literally Shelby that we're talking about saying that. We need to bring in some new players, but we probably won't. We won't get the money available, so it's a massive problem. It's like a game when we let go of Yedlin with right back. Why did he let go with it right back? Now we're stuck with Emil Kraft and we're in a right mess. It's just, they're just making like decisions that don't make sense, and they come to bite us back in a few months when we have a problem.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, you touched on Yedlin as well. I mean, what's the point of getting rid of a right back if you're not going to buy a right back? It just does not make sense at all whatsoever. Again, they're letting them go, right? But unfortunately, again, sort of, if you're not replace them, we're just absolutely hopeless at that, man, And it is, oh man, this club, man, I just don't get it as well. I mean, the weirdest transfer policies going on is just an absolute disgrace. Got Geordie here, insulting the fans during deals like these will not go down well enough with supporters, that's for sure. He's bang on. Eric said, everyone goes on about him after that collect pass. He's had 10 assists since he's joined the club. That is absolutely woeful. That's an average of 2 a season since he's been here. Well said, Eric. Jason, bring Anderson back into the first team and play him in place of Shelby. Would you bring him back in, Holly?
I'd like to see more youngsters get a go, but I don't think now's the right time since we're in that relegation fight, because you don't want to have to rely on youngsters with that amount of pressure on them. I don't think it'll end well.
That's the thing. I mean, the thing is, though, you bring him in, and Mike Una's career before he even started. You know what I mean? That's just down to one guy, and that's Bruce again. And Jordan said, where's the Longstaffs? Surely they should be getting the game. Like Holly said, I think they'll both be sold in the summer. I don't think they'll ever play for Bruce again. Apparently, there's been a bust up between the Longstaffs and Bruce. We don't know. Do you know about that, Holly?
I heard about it, yeah. Apparently Sean had words with him. I don't know if it's true, but you think it could be true because it's bizarre how he hasn't had them in the squad whatsoever. I mean, Matty wasn't even on the bench at all against Man United, and we were all expecting him. I said I wanted him to start. It's a shame, but the thing is, obviously Matty's out of contract at the end of the season, so he certainly won't sign a new one. It was really disrespectful that Bruce convinced him to stay for the season and then hasn't played him. And we won't get any money from him now. Sean, he probably gets signed by a championship club, but I don't think we'd make a great deal off of him. So it's kind of a shame, but they will go if Bruce is still here, because why would they continue playing for him when they can't even get in the squad most of the time?
Totally agree. I mean, Matty's got another year on his contract as well. And yeah, I mean, he should have gone to Udinese. I've said in the summer, he should have gone to Udinese. And I think, who would you rather play with? Would you rather play with John Shelby? Or would you rather play with Rodrigo de Paul? I'd rather play for Rodrigo de Paul, because end of the day, he is levels above Shelby, levels, and he could have learned from that guy, sort of thing. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I don't think they'll play for Newcastle again under Bruce, which is a shame, because those two lads who loves playing for Newcastle United, and unfortunately, Bruce has ruined them.
Yeah.
So got Lee Taylor here. Lee, I hope you're okay, mate. If we want to give you the opportunity in our first team instead of Shelby, like Holly said, I don't think Bruce would do that. Brandon said, John, you make a mistake. Miggy runs a lot. That's a Liam's quote. I got to catch a hold of him on Sunday. Going to do the fans reaction chat on Sunday. New project. Gia said, doubt anyone would buy John Linton. We're stuck with him. He's on 90 grand a week. He's got 4 years left on his contract. I don't know if you heard that one, Holly. 4 years left on his contract after this season.
That's shocking. I don't know why we handed him a contract that big when we signed him. I don't think he'd be impossible to get rid of, because I think a foreign club would be willing to come in for him, but we certainly wouldn't make nowhere near 40 million, so we'd have to make a loss.
Exactly. I don't think I said 15 million to be rated, but I might just give the guy away for free. And we've got James Brown as well. Is that the James Brown legendary singer? And the guy says, hey, Raul Miggy runs his socks off on like the majority of this squad we have at the minute. I have to agree there. GSA club is a mess from top to bottom, complete utter shambles. Stevie says still Sean Matty make crap cups of tea. That's why they're on in the squad. Yes. Well, and you got Paul, even John, even Holly. And Paul said, just gone from work, what's going on with Shelby? Well, apparently he's just bigging up Steve Bruce and how wonderful he is and, how wonderful it's playing for him. And he's just rounding the fans up. If you go on the NFC 360 Twitter handler, click on that. It's on there. You get the full interview from then on. And you got Steve said, love watching John Linton playing for us. He's a proper number 9. Yes.
If I didn't know any better, John, I would think that was you in the comments.
Yay! Yeah. I'm a fan favourite, am I? Now I'm fan favourite.
Yeah. But I think you're Joe Linton's biggest fan. He'll probably get you a free season ticket or something because you'll be the only one cheering him on in the ground.
Yay! Wow. I'm gonna get. I started this off, didn't I? Now I'm gonna get everything. You know what I mean? That Sam as well, Chip has as well. He's a great lad. Paul says, "Someone fill me in." Well, you're gonna have to look about me videos there. It'll be up there, sort of things. You can watch it later. It's on, my guy. So I got Jason as well. So that's both Longstars falling out with Boost. ASM fall out with him. Now looks like both Darlow and Dubaka has fallen out with him. Richie is annoyed with him as well. I've got another one as well. What I'll do, if I get this one up as well, I don't know if you've seen this one there, that about Carl Darlow. Last week, Dubaka was unhappy because he wasn't in the first team. Now Darlow is unhappy as well. He's basically saying, was only informed on Thursday that he was being placed on Dubaka. It's believed he is angered not to have been informed in person earlier, and that there's been a level of surprise in the first team squad about the method of his removal. Wow. What do you make of that one?
No disrespect to Carl Darlow, but I think he should have been kind of expecting it after that game. He wasn't very good. And then Dubravka sitting on the bench, I think he should have been expecting it. But also, I could understand if he'd informed him like on the day of the game or like the night before something. But he has given like a few days' notice, so it's not like he's just said it like 5 minutes before kickoff or something. I don't really know why he'd be angry. He might feel a bit hard done by being put out the squad, obviously. But at the end of the day, Dubravka's better. And I'm sorry, Darlow. I appreciate everything that he's done in that. But if I had to pick one of them, it's Dubravka all day. So best of luck to Darlow. I think he'll be gone, but I appreciate what he's done.
100%. I think he'll be gone at the end. I think he'll be gone anyway. So you could go to Pastures News, or Pastures New, even if we get relegated or not so far. I think he'd be aware because at the end of the day, he wants to be our number 1. And I just don't really be number 1 at Newcastle. Steve said 50 million for Joe Linton is too cheap. Well, even something like 80 million sort of thing ain't going to happen. She just said, why don't they all rise up and come out with the angle of Bruce? You know what it is? He's losing the dressing room, man. I mean, I'll say it now. He's lost the dressing room, Holly, right? You know that. I know that. The fans knows that. Right? Yet, Ashley is doing absolutely naught.
Yeah, but I don't think either of us are surprised at that. It's kind of what you expect from Ashley, and we've had the same thing for the past 14 years. But the weird thing about the squad is most of the squad you can tell don't really like him anymore. They don't have faith or trust in him. But then there's odd players like John Joe Shelby that absolutely love the guy. So it's just really bizarre. He's definitely got his favourites and there's cliques in that team. And if you're his friend, you get picked for the team. That's the way I think it works.
Wow, I think you're right there, Holly's sort of thing. I mean, if he does pick Shelby, then Shelby probably get mad at him, sort of, and that just goes to show how weak Bruce is as a manager. I've always said that. I mean, I just wish Rafa was here now. He would have sorted Shelby out. He would have been gone anyway. But there you go. I've got Joe Linton again. Steve Bruce, and it says Joe Linton has just texted us and reckons he will get you a chippy tea one night if you keep praising him on a weekly basis. It won't be me. I'll be praising him at all. I gave him
we all know it will be, John. You'll definitely be praising him. We all know you're a secret Joe Linton fan.
So you will be his cheerleader, dear. His cheerleader. Yay!
Yeah, you'll be the only one. First start of the season, the first person in the club shop getting Joe Linton 9 printed on the back of your shirt. Oh, sorry, John Linton 9.
John Linton. Wow. I tell you what, though, hypothetically, right, next season, if he's still there, if he's still in the Premier League, if he gets us 20 goals this season, I doubt he will, then are people going to accept him if he gets 20 goals? So he's got to do it consistent.
Yeah, if he got 20 goals next season, I'd be buzzing. Like, I would put everything behind us, what's happened the past couple of years. Definitely, that's good enough for me, but it's not going to happen. We'll be lucky to get 2 goals from him.
Wow. I'll tell you what, though. I mean, everyone will be loving this guy anyway, but Malcolm McDonald, he is not. And Eric said as well, with the takeover pretty much off now, guys, unfortunately, this is Newcastle United now. If we don't go down this season, we're 100% will next season. Bruce is staying. Oh, God, no, please don't. I don't want to stay. And we've got Jordan here. Darlow is a mid-table keeper. Wow, Dubaka is his top 10. And
I'd change that to top 4, actually.
Top 4, yeah, he's definitely top 4 for me. Like, for me, would you say he's world class? Or would you just say he's European, just top class?
I'm probably a bit biased, but yeah, I would say he's world class. I think he could play for the elite in the Champions League and do well. I love him.
Wow, I'll tell you what, I'll put Mandanovic as well. He's 37 years. Mandanovic plays into Milan. For me, I think he's world class. Keep as him sort of thing in that. But I don't know if you heard of him, but still, I think Inter Milan win Serie A this season, the way they're going at the minute under Antonio Conte. And Eric as well said, Darlow can't say no. Everyone knows you need to play your best key players, and Darlow hasn't been great for the last couple of games. He'll be gone at the end of the season, and Woodman will be number 2. Would you take Woodman's number 2? Would you take Darlow's number 2?
I do Darlow number 2 and Woodman number 3, but I don't think Woodman or Darlow would want to be number 2, so I think they'll both leave, and then we'll be stuck with Mark Gillespie. And I don't want to judge Mark Gillespie too much because he hasn't really had a chance, but I don't think he seems to be a great player, so I'm not that confident in having him as number 2, but that's probably what will happen.
Yeah, I think so. You're right. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen this one. Lee Taylor said, breaking news, Steve Bruce is sacking Newcastle United's manager. I've just checked that. No, he hasn't been sacked. No way. I was on another channel with you as well. And we've got Julie here. Hit, like, and subscribe. And also, please follow Holly on her Twitter account, HollyBlades05. She is absolutely amazing, and she is such a talent.
Thank you.
Nice. I got just said John Linton and Joe Linton will open their own chippy.
That would be amazing, to be fair. I'll be the first person to come.
Yeah, I'll give you a free one as well, sort of thing. Like, mix up sort of thing, open a bar as well. Like, I tell you, just think of the money are coming, man, Give up my job, open up a new bar, open a chippy shop, money are just rolling in, baby. Rolling in.
You couldn't have Joe Linton air frying the chips because he probably tried to fry them and he would miss the target and they would go all over the place.
Oh, man, love it, baby. Love it. Oh, bless. You're right. Or if you did a pancake sort of thing, you flip it up sort of thing, and it goes so far wide, it shanked it into the corner flag. Hold it.
I know you'd make no money because all the food would just be all over the restaurant.
Oh, no. Missed the target. But there you go. But like I said, sort of thing, right? Oh, man. Bless you, right. Right. And if you get relegated, woman could well be on number one.
Do you think Dubravka would stay in the championship? Because I'm kind of like on the fence about it.
I'll give you that answer straight away. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. Get relegated, he's gone. He's
The
gone.
only thing that gives us hope is that obviously he's getting a bit older now, and I know he said he wants to stay at Newcastle, but then again, and he signed a long-term deal, but he could easily get a club that's in a higher up position than Newcastle. So yeah. I'm probably dreaming thinking of that. But Darlow might stay, maybe. But
yeah, Darlow might stay. Woodman could be his number two, but at the moment, I think Woodman's getting rave reviews. My understanding is if Swansea City get promoted, then they want to buy this Freddie Woodman as well. So how much it'll be, I don't know, but I think he's got 1 year left on his contract at the end of the season. So I think Swansea will definitely buy him if Swansea gets promoted because he seems happy at Swansea City.
Well, to be honest, if we're in the championship, I wouldn't mind Freddie Woodman as number one goalkeeper because I think he'd do an all right job.
Yeah, I think he will. But let's hope we don't get in the championship at all at the end of the season because we won't be in the Premier League. But it's all hinged on these 4 games. If we don't sort it out after these 4 games, then I do fear for us. But also, Fulham win their games on Saturday against Palace, I think we could be down. We could be in there as well. There you got Steve Bruce, Joe Linton. He's a Joe Linton. He loves Joe Linton, doesn't he, man? He loves him.
And but he hasn't been in the squad as much this season because he literally played him no matter what last season. And I thought it was going to be the same this year, but he's a little bit less out of favour. But still, I thought it was so bizarre when he brought in Joe Linton as the replacement for Wilson. Like, that was a bit crazy.
Oh, crazy, man. That 40 million wasted. Like I said, that 20 million could have gone Wilson and 20 million could have gone a decent midfield, that sort of thing, because you definitely need 2 midfielders players this season. Hendrick's not good enough. I think Hayden is fine, but I want to see him perform against bigger teams as well. That's my only concern about him. And I want to talk quickly about Ryan Fraser as well. I mean, have you been impressed with him this season?
No. I'm gutted, to be honest, because when we signed him, I thought, oh, that's great, getting him on a free. Like, what a bargain. I thought he was going to do great stuff and just be really good for the team, but he's played. I think I agree with Bournemouth fans. He seems to have a bad attitude. Like, he got a red card and stuff. He didn't seem to even care. And he's always pretty poor when he plays. So I think we should just get rid of him, personally. I don't rate him at all.
How many marks out of 10 would you give him?
3. Same as Shelby, they can both.
You know what I'm about to say, don't you?
What, the same as Joe Linton?
No. I mean, rating sort of thing on Fraser. I mean, you only have 1 good game, though. I'll give him a 7. I think I'll give him 7 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Against Palace, 1 good game.
Yeah, 1 good game, but Jeff Hendrick had 1 good game, but I still wouldn't sit and defend him. Like, I know he hasn't had a lot of game time, Fraser, but he hasn't deserved it, to be fair. I wish we'd never signed him. He's just a waste of a player. That red card, when he got that red card and he completely didn't care, I was so annoyed. I was like, please never play for Newcastle again. I literally took us like a week to calm down after that.
Hey, Holly, I didn't think you was that bad temper, pet.
Sometimes with Newcastle, but what can you expect with Steve Bruce?
I know, yeah. I can understand why. I mean, you know what I mean? But listen, you're right. I mean, Fraser's been a major disappointment. I mean, he wanted to move to either Spurs, Liverpool, or Arsenal, but he ended up coming to us. You know what I mean? And he'd be thinking, I wish I could into those big clubs. But it's attitude. I mean, for me, it's been a massive, massive letdown for me. So if he's there next season,
I hope he's not here next season, but I think he would stay. And on about Arsenal or Spurs and stuff like that, I don't even think he would get a game for like the top 6 championship clubs. So I think he's just thinking he's better than he is, to be honest. I don't think he's good enough for the Premier League because he was kind of like a 1-season wonder when you think about it at Bournemouth. He had 1 really good season, then he was rubbish, came here and he's rubbish again.
Totally agree. You're absolutely right. It's just he needs to fix up very, very quickly. Otherwise, he'd be on the weird side, this kid. He's 26-year-old and he needs to fix up very, very, very quickly. Otherwise, his career would just going to go one way or another. And he's got himself to blame. I got
But he looks like Lewis, like a kid, but he's literally meant to be in his prime, and he's playing like a brand new Premier League player. He needs to be better than that at this stage.
Oh, well, yeah, you're absolutely right, and I totally agree. He needs, like I said, I mean, we got what 12, 13 games to go, and if he does play, I want to see 100% for this kid. If he doesn't, then I'll just say see you later to him. So I've got Burnley again. I'm surprised Steve Bruce commenting on here about Joe Linton. We all know his favourite in his own son, Jeff Hendrick. Sounds out beautifully. I'm going to be talking to Brandon around 8:30, and we're going to talk about loads of things as well. So I want my channel to be absolute lit when I speak to this guy. I want over 100 people watching live for this game for his channel. So I'm just 40 million for Joe Linton, when it could all have cost 18 million for Rondon. You do the maths. Rondon's far better and would have saved a lot of money. I think he's absolutely right.
I do agree. I probably wouldn't have paid 18 million for Rondon. I was a massive fan of his, but with his age and stuff like that, I don't think that he was worth the 18 million. But certainly, I'd rather have paid that for Rondon than pay 40 million for Joe Linton.
Absolutely. But then again, Steve Bruce would have ruined his career anyway. But
Probably.
you know, I'm going to go back this off very quickly because it's going to end up being 3 hours if I do this again. So, and I got Steve again. Jeff Hendrick is God. Jesus, our team is in total mess right now. That's from Paul. My agent's talking to Celtic officials about me becoming a manager. No, thank you very much. That's the setting team. I don't want to know why you've used the setting team then Celtic technically, but there you go. And Paul said, well, Steve, get the F out now. And Steve said, try my best, Paul, mate. Trying my best because I have a roll up my sleeves. Roll up my sleeves. Well, do it quicker sort of thing. Do you know what? This level, championship. That is this level.
And that's a compliment, to be fair, because even I think it's bottom half of the Championship League One. He'd be lucky to get in a good Championship team.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, you not get clubs like Bournemouth, Norwich, and teams like that as well. Nottingham Forest, maybe. You know, they're struggling over the years, but Christy Houghton seem to be struggling there at the minute, which I think is on mirrors, but they got a difficult chairman there at this moment in time. So, yeah, it is for what it is. I'm going to wrap this up very quickly because obviously, been up for over an hour as well. And just two more comments. How the hell up, Boosty? And Geordie, Carlisle United's boost level.
Yeah, well, I probably might do okay there.
I think so. Let's get rid of him, sort of thing. I'll send him to Blythe Broadcast as well, so if we can manage them. You know what I mean? But yeah. Listen, Holly, I was going to say, before I let you go, can you give? You say you're going to stick to a 1-1 draw tomorrow?
Yeah, 1-1 I went for. That was my positive prediction, though, because I could see it being a 0-0, but I'll say that we'll score, so I'll go for a 1-1. Which I'd probably take because anything's better than another defeat. But I think we really do need to try our best to get all 3 points, because if we want any chance of staying up, we need to start picking up points in these next few games where we've got easier fixtures.
Wow, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I'm going to say Wolves 2-0 because for me, we're going to get absolutely blitzed down the wing, down the flanks tomorrow at Traore. And also you got Neto as well. And I think Kraft is in for a difficult time tomorrow. I really do. And also, Jamal Lewis is going to be in for a difficult time as well. And I hope I'm wrong, but I think those two. I spoke to a Wolves fan yesterday, and he seems confident as well. And Jordan said either 1-0 or 2-0 defeat. Paul says 2-1 to the lads. Thomas, he's been quite nice, Thomas. Bruce is only good at Blythe Butchers FC. And they're saying, let's say 2-1 to Newcastle. So that's it then. I mean, Holly, I got to ask you this question. You know what I'm going to ask you next. Did you enjoy coming on my show tonight?
Yeah, as always. Always happy to do the Friday night show.
Collie, the job is yours, pet. And you know what? Without you, I couldn't do it myself. There's no way. And listen, I'm doing the fans' reaction on Saturday and Sunday after the match as well. And, if I can get you on, that'd be great. If you're not, if you're busy, I'll totally understand. And yeah, so thanks so much for coming on, and it's been fantastic chatting to you. And you know what? I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 every week, and I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 every week.
Thank you. I'll try and get on the fans' reaction. I don't know if I'll be able to because I'm on a watch along on Steve Wraith's channel again, but if I can get on, I will.
Sure. I mean, Sunday would be good if you can make it. Like, don't have to be on Saturday. Sunday would be great. And, we can chat about that if you want. That gives you a chance to get some rest as well. You might be tired. You never know.
Probably, yeah. I'll be able to come on Sunday if you're doing it then.
You know what? You're an absolute sport, you are. And for me, you're just so talented, and I said to you before, you should be on Sky Sports, you.
Maybe, but I don't think I would honestly want to work for Sky Sports because constantly slagging Newcastle fans off and I'll get annoyed.
Listen, say it how it like it is. I've taught you, say it how it like it is. Do you know what I mean? If they didn't like it, tough. They'd have to watch yes, but you're right. I mean, you get some people on there. That's why they wouldn't get Michael Chopper on and people like that. Do you know what I mean? Just slags off the club. Do you know what I mean? They won't do that.
Yeah, I know.
So,
it's no good, but I'll make sure I watch you and Brandon next. I'll be in the comments, so I'll give you some.
Thank you, though. Listen, you come and join any time, sort of thing. We say some nice things about you, sort of thing. And looking forward to watching our show out and eat. And thank you very much for coming on the press conference reaction.
No problem. Speak to you soon.
Speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra. Ta-ra. That is the lovely Holly Blades. And if you please get us followed on Twitter on HollyBlades05. She's on every Friday with us. And she is absolutely amazing. Jason said, 2-0 defeat, sadly. You're absolutely right. Paul Thomas, he couldn't manage a company. Steve 3-1 to Wolves. And Thomas, Paul, good one. Paul, great stream, John Holly. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. And Tom said, great stream, John Holly. Have a good night, everybody. Listen, I'm going to sign off this stream now, but I'll be back at 8:30 with my guy, Brandon, in the building. We're going to talk about the match preview, and he's absolutely amazing, and he speaks the truth as well. And Holly said, thanks, Amazon, John Holly. Mwah. Love you always, and you're always welcome to come and chat at any time, and hopefully you can come back on the fans' action on Sunday if you get that chance. And thanks again, Holly. You're amazing. And Thomas, see you soon, John. Well, I see you guys 8:30, and don't go away because it's going to be absolutely. I want 100 people watching this channel live. I really do. And listen, thanks for joining us on the press conference reaction. Tell us what you think. Leave a comment in the sections down below, and also like and subscribe to my channel. And until then, guys, have a good evening, and I'll see you at 8:30.